Tyler here with GP Knives, and we're here today to take a look at the new Shadow from Fox Knives, designed by Bastien Cove of Bastinelli Knives. This is a modified Wharncliffe style blade made from Elmax, which is similar to Bowler's M390, but with a slight increase in toughness. You're going to get comparable edge retention and corrosion resistance. It's a high purity steel and takes a fine edge thanks to the microstructure of the steel. You get a nearly full height flat grind up to the dual fullers. You get a slight swedge on this front clip here. It is a modified Wharncliffe and has a very fine point and a similar style of cutting edge with a slight bit more belly than the standard straight Wharncliffe. Nice thumb scoop on the spine with fine jimping, and that's more for indexing than traction, but thanks to the ergonomics of the knife, added traction isn't really needed. And this points the thumb pressure directly into the center of the blade for powerful slicing and push cuts. And that fine tip is excellent for detail work as well as piercing. Full carbon fiber front scale for weight reduction, and 3D contoured milling for enhanced in-hand ergonomics. You've got a nice index finger choil with a cutout here, and paired with the index flipper provides a good solid guard, preventing the index finger from sliding onto the blade. The full titanium frame lock construction provides solid lockup and smooth operation thanks to the stainless steel lock face insert. The insert also doubles as over travel prevention, and as you can see, keeps the lock bar from moving past the actual frame. You also got a ceramic ball bearing detent and a ceramic ball bearing pivot, and that's going to provide very smooth and decisive deployment, as well as easy closing of the blade. And then we've got a right hand tip up only pocket clip and generous lanyard hole here for carry. This knife does come in two variations. We've got the stonewash blade with carbon fiber handle, and then a full black wash finish with a full titanium handle. So a bit more heft on the full titanium version, but otherwise you're looking at the same overall size and dimensions. And here for a quick size comparison, we have it with the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So you can see a bit larger than the PM2 overall. The mass of that blade is going to be quite a bit larger cutting edge as well. Blade stock thickness on these two, PM2 is actually maybe a little thicker, but they both taper to a nice fine point. Functional grip area is going to be almost the same, maybe just a little bit longer on here, making up for the lack of choil there, but the overall length of the handle is going to be about the same on both of these. Slightly larger footprint on the Shadow from Fox, and for another comparison, I'm going to bring in the Spyderco Caribbean, and that's the sheep's foot variation. So you can see these two are fairly similar, kind of a similar blade shape, a little more of a Wharncliffe on the Shadow as opposed to the sheep's foot. About the same length of cutting edge. Blade stock thickness is fairly similar with a slightly finer point on that Shadow. Functional grip area is going to be very similar. Handle thickness is going to be just a little thicker, which makes sense for the titanium frame lock. And then take a look at the overall footprint, and you can see fairly comparable between these two. So it is going to take up a fair amount of space in the pocket, but if you're looking for a stout defensive knife and a good utilitarian frame lock flipper, the Shadow is going to be an excellent option, and the carbon fiber version helps to offset the weight of the larger knife, making it a very carryable package. The pocket clip provides secure carry and draws smoothly from the pocket thanks to the smooth titanium frame lock side. The knife deploys fast and smooth on the ball bearing pivot and is easily returned to the pocket and despite the relatively large footprint of the knife, provides easy access to other items in the pocket while carrying. The Shadow is an excellent option for a tactical and utilitarian frame lock flipper for everyday carry. It's large enough to be used as a defensive knife and definitely has plenty of cutting performance in that regard, with a very fine point and a long cutting edge with a bit of belly there for good slicing. But it's also a nice utilitarian knife, very secure in the hands for both of those purposes. You can actually grip back on it a bit farther and use it in a variety of grips for fine cutting tasks and detail work. And again, a good combination of a utilitarian and defensive oriented blade. Again, this is Tyler with GP Knives and the Fox Knives Bastinelli Shadow. You can check it out now at gpknives.com. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp. If you like what you've seen today and you'd like to see more, like the video below, subscribe to our YouTube channel feed for updates on all new videos, and follow us on other social media platforms for more updates and new content.